Hello, my name is Karama Neal, Principal of Ife Opportunity. Thank you for joining us for 20 Questions, The World Outside Your Window. If you've already completed Part 1, please grab your answer sheet so you can review it in the context of this discussion. Otherwise, please be prepared to pause after each question to look outside your window, think about the question and your answer before starting the audio again to hear the discussion. Are you ready? Let's get started. Question 1. As you look outside your window, list the types of living things that are out there. Most people start with the mammals, animals with hair or fur that give birth to living young, for example, dogs and cats and cows. And they also start with vertebrates, animals with a backbone, for example, turtles, fish, and birds, and mammals. Did you also include any people that you saw? We're also mammals and vertebrates. Did you list any insects? Ants, flies, moths, and ladybugs are all alive too. So are spiders and granddaddy longlegs, although they're arachnids, not insects. Did you see any grass, bushes, or trees? Plants are alive too. Any mushrooms or moss? Make sure to add them to your list. There are also lots of living things outside your window that you cannot see. The worms that live underground, the bacteria living in the dirt, the protists living in a pond, the flying insects too small for you to see from your window. They're all living out there, and they count too. Question 2. What other ways can you organize your list? Most people just list the living things in the order in which they think of them. You could also organize your list according to the kingdoms of life: animals, plants, fungi, protists, bacteria. Or you could organize them by where they live: land, water, sky, underground, or by how they'll get their food, or by their size, or by something else. Question 3. All living things need water. Where are they getting theirs? In many places, there is lots of water underground from rain and stored in aquifers. Trees and plants get their water from underground sources. If it has recently rained, you may see birds, insects, or other animals getting their water from a puddle. Likely, there are other microorganisms, protists, bacteria, and more living in the water. Some organisms may even get their water from a leaky outdoor faucet or from the standing water under the pot of a houseplant. Question 4. All living things need food. Where are they getting theirs? If you saw people or pets outside your window, you probably already know how they get their food. Unlike those animals, any plants you saw make their own food. They are autotrophs and so use photosynthesis to make food from the energy from sunlight. Chickens, rabbits, people, and more are heterotrophs and so obtain their food from the bodies of other organisms, plants, animals, and others. Some heterotrophs, like dogs and cats, are carnivores, meaning they eat meat. Others, like cows and certain birds, are herbivores, meaning they eat plants. Some birds and other organisms are insectivores. They eat insects. Some fungi and other organisms are parasites and grow on other organisms, getting their food from them. And there are many other ways living things get their food. Question 5. Are any of the living things aware of your presence? It's interesting to think about whether the dog, cat, bird, or person you are looking at is also looking at you. Could they be asking the same questions about you that you are asking of them? Question 6. How many different types of plants can you see? There may be a lot of different types of plants that you can see. Perhaps there are houseplants someone in your home or your neighborhood waters. Perhaps some bushes. Don't forget to include trees since they're plants too. And how about grass? Also a plant. Make sure you thank a plant next time you breathe in. When plants use sunlight to make their food, a process called photosynthesis, one of the waste products is oxygen, a gas we need to survive. We breathe in oxygen from plants every time we take a breath. Thanks, plants. Question 7. How many different types of trees can you see? If you can see trees from your window, or remember some from your mind, think about the greenery of the trees you see. Are there leaves? If so, what shape are they? Are they flat and wide like an oak? Or are they really needles like a pine? Does the tree produce things like acorns from oak trees, pine cones, fruits, nuts, sycamore balls, or flowers? Does the tree lose its leaves in the winter, like a pecan or redbud? Or do the trees stay green all year, like a cedar or magnolia? Do the leaves change color in the fall? What size is the tree? What does the bark of the tree look like? Question 8. How are the trees different? All of the differences just discussed can be used to categorize trees into different species or types. We use trees for so many different things: fruit and nuts for eating, timber for building, paper for writing, fuel for heating, limbs for climbing, and more. Thanks, trees. Question 9. How might these trees look in 6 months? Some trees sprout leaves and flowers in the spring. Some set fruit in the summer, change their leaf color in the fall, and lose their leaves in the winter. Pine cones and acorns form in the summer and fall in the fall or autumn. Question 10. If you can see the sun, how high is it in the sky? Every morning at sunrise, we see the sun in the east on the horizon at 0 degrees. It rises to near 90 degrees straight overhead at noon. Then, in the evening, it sets below the horizon at 0 degrees. You can use your fist to estimate how high the sun is in the sky. Simply take your arm and hold it straight out, level with the ground. Make a fist. The top of your fist, looking out, is at 10 degrees, approximately. Put another fist on top, and now the top of your stack of 2 is 20 degrees. Continue stacking your fists to estimate the angle. This method also works for the moon, planets, stars, International Space Station, and more. Question 11. How long will it be until the sun sets? The sun sets at different times each day because of the tilt of the Earth and the Earth's elliptical rotation around the sun. You can watch to see what time it sets, but don't look straight at the sun since that can damage your eyes. If you want, check out a weather or smartphone app to see what time the sun will set in your area. It's a great way to start the evening. Question 12. How long will it be until the sun rises? The sun also rises at different times during the day, again because of the tilt of the Earth and the Earth's elliptical rotation around the sun. You can watch to see what time it rises, but again, don't look straight at the sun since that can damage your eyes. If you want, check out a weather or smartphone app to see what time the sun will rise in your area. It's a great way to start the day. Question 13. If you can see the moon, what shape is it? One side of the moon always faces the sun, even though the moon revolves around the Earth, which itself revolves around the sun. Because of this and other movement, from the Earth, we cannot always see the entire bright side of the moon. When we do, we can see the full moon. But at other times, we see different phases of the moon. Sometimes we cannot see any moon at all. Question 14. What shape do you think the moon will be in 2 weeks? If you can see one half of the moon tonight, a waxing or waning quarter, you will see the other half, a waning or waxing quarter, in 2 weeks. If you can see the full moon tonight, you'll have a new moon or no moon in 2 weeks. Check out the moon phase chart for more information And try drawing the moon every day for a month to record the pattern yourself. Question 15. What shape do you think the moon will be in a month? Because the phases of the moon repeat about every 30 days, the shape of the moon in 30 days, about a month, is the same as the shape of the moon tonight. Question 16. If you can see the clouds, are they pretty high or kind of low? Clouds occupy different positions in the sky. Some, like the thin, wispy, feathery cirrus clouds, are 20,000 to 40,000 feet up. Others, like stratus clouds, can be less than 6,000 feet up. Some clouds, like cumulonimbus, are really tall and can extend for several miles at their base. Fog is a very low type of cloud. You may remember walking or riding through fog near the ground. Even though they are made of water vapor, not all clouds produce rain. Question 17. If you can see clouds, draw them. Try drawing the clouds in your area every day for a month to record the pattern. If you add in weather and whether or not it rains, you may be able to see for yourself which cloud types are likely to produce rain and understand other weather patterns. Question 18. If the wind is blowing, which direction is it blowing? We can't see air, even if it's moving, but we can see its effect. You may see wind blowing trees, a flag, rice fields, or clothes on a line. You can use what you already know to determine the direction the wind is blowing. If it's blowing in the direction the sun rises, that's east. If it's blowing in the direction the sun sets, that's west. Use a compass or smartphone to find north and other directions. For example, southwest, north-northwest, or east-southeast. Question 19. How many stars do you expect to see tonight? Under perfect conditions, no moon or new moon, no clouds, no smog, no ground lights, people can see about 4,500 stars at night. But there are more than 100 billion stars just in our galaxy, the Milky Way alone. And some astronomers and cosmologists estimate that there are more than 2 trillion galaxies in the universe. And most viewing conditions are not perfect. Based on the clouds, the moon, the street lights, and other factors, you will likely see far fewer than 4,500 stars. Still, the ones you can see are beautiful, especially our favorite star, the sun. Look up. Question 20. How might your window view be different in 6 months? Think about all the things you've just observed outside your window today. How might each be different in 6 months? The clouds, the birds, the trees, the stars, the wind, the weather, the plants, and more. How might you be different? Thank you so much for joining us. Please visit ifeopportunity.wordpress.com for more materials to read, enjoy, and share. Thanks again.